So I'm Chetiyawardana, or Mr. Lion, and we're here in my bar in East London, White Lion. And again, I'm making some super tasty cocktails with 808 grain whiskey. They're really simple to put together if you're at home, if you're in a busy club, if you're in a cocktail bar. They're drinks that you can use, easy to get hold of ingredients, and they're really fun for pulling out the flavors of 808. I think this is a brilliant way of getting people into the Scotch category. You know, it's a way of getting them to drink whiskey in new ways, approach it in different ways. It particularly works where people aren't used to drinking some of those bigger flavors. It works perfectly for getting it into an arena where you want something kind of fun and light. And that playfulness is kind of what's being key about it as well. So starting off, you know, if you're in a busy environment, you're getting together with friends, it's nice to kind of cheers with a little shot. So we're doing a really simple one to base on. So you need something as a pick-me-up. There's something really nice about the camaraderie of having a little shot. So what I've done is I've brewed some breakfast tea in true English fashion, and I've brewed it with some strawberry jam. 3 spoons of strawberry jam, 2 tea bags, and a cup and a half of water. So really simple, a couple of dashes of bitters in there, and that's going to act as our sweetener and our dilution from the shot. 2 parts of 808, which has got all that lovely kind of sweet creaminess to it, and still that kind of enough of that spice to balance out against the tea. So the tea's got a nice bit of tannin in there, it's got some of that caffeine, which is always helpful, and then that kind of berry note that picks out the flavors from 808. And that's simply it. And what I do for that is chill it down, keep it bottled up. So when it comes together with some friends, just simply pour it out. And that's our 808 drop. So for this drink, I'm going to be doing a twist on a julep. It's a drink that's a really cooling style serve. And it's a perfect pairing with 808. You've got that lovely creaminess, a little bit of spice and some of those red berry notes. But to kind of bring the energy back, you know, it's got all of that vibrancy in the whiskey. I'm using a touch of chili. So you've got the cooling notes of the mint, but also this like a little bit of spice lifting out from the Tabasco as well. So I'm going to start in our little julep cup with some fresh mint. So just putting some fresh leaves in the bottom of our nice chilled cup. The juleps are mainly associated with the Kentucky Derby, but it's a cooling kind of drink of the Southwest that was always kind of a nice way of kind of taking away some of the heat. I'm going to add a little bit of honey water. So 15 mils of honey water is just going to help bring some of that sweetness out. I'm going to add a couple of drops of green Tabasco. Now I've gone with the green because it's a nice balance against the whiskey. You can use red Tabasco, you can use the habanero if you've got a real kind of fetish for the spice on it, but just a couple of dashes into the base. I'm going to start filling this up with some crushed ice. So gently cracked ice, nothing that's going to dilute too quickly, but it's going to start to, or give us enough space for the drink to open out properly. Going to add a nice, just over 50 mils of our 808 grain. Just a touch more. And automatically you get that lovely kind of sweetness lifting out from within the julep cup. So just going to simply fold this around, and then it's about kind of just pulling this cracked ice over the top of the mint and the whiskey. So cap it with a bit more of our cracked ice. And we're just going to garnish that with really a good amount of mint around the top actually. So taking a few sprigs of the mint, pour a little spank on it, put it right at the top, take our little straw and pop it right alongside. Cheeky wee julep as well. When we've been creating some of these drinks and putting them in front of people, it's amazing people who wouldn't usually go towards a whiskey serve. You know, they're still refreshing, they're cooling, it's got all those characters, but it's not hiding that, it's drawing out those flavors from within 808. I'm doing another drink with 808 this really showcases a different side of the grain whiskey. So it's really been fun pulling out some of these different flavors, pulling out some of those chocolatey, richer notes, the creaminess, the berry flavors. With this, I'm pulling out some of those the sweeter notes from the kind of vanilla lead, but also some of those kind of orchard fruit notes that you get within it. So it's a really simple kind of equal parts drink, built over ice in a rocks glass, and it's a nice kind of cooler serve, but it's got a richness to it that really works. So starting off with just a couple of dashes of orange bitters. And we're going to add some Bianco vermouth. So it's got a nice vanilla note to it, so it matches in really nicely to the creaminess of 808. We're going to use some apple juice. I've got some cold pressed apple here that's got a really nice crispness that works again with that balance from the whiskey, but you can use just some pressed apple juice. Again, one part of that. And then our hero of the show. Nice equal part of 808. Bump a little touch. We're just going to give that a quick stir to make sure everything's mixed together, and then we're just going to crown it with a little bit of soda. So it just kind of cuts through some of the sweetness of the Bianco and just gives some of that spritz back to it, but really, really light. Little dash of soda. Get another ice cube sitting pretty on the top there. And just an orange zest over the top. So instead of kind of battling against the flavors, it's really kind of lifting out everything from within 808, so it's going with the grain. I think what's been great about using 808 as a base for making these kind of cocktails is it's got a different profile. It's got this lovely creaminess. It still has those kind of sets of flavor that, you know, kind of back it up and stop it being kind of super light, and it's very different from a white spirit can, but it gets to play in a lot of the arenas that a white spirit gets to. You can make lighter, fresher style drinks. You can do drinks that are a bit more fun. 808's very much it's got that kind of dynamism about it. You know, there's nothing stuffy there. There's nothing that's kind of, you know, it's not like it's alienating against from a kind of an older crowd, but it particularly works where people aren't used to drinking some of those bigger flavors. You know, I love whiskey, I love drinking Scotch and sodas, I love drinking malts, but it's a very different thing to be in like a busy environment in a club or in a busy bar and having ways to enjoy an amazing whiskey. And this is what's been so fun about 808.